I'm going to offer you a practice today to help you become more aware of pleasure in your body and get you more connected to your sexual energy. So we'll be doing some pleasure awareness practice, a bit of breath work, and then if you like, you can move into some self-pleasure. Now, it is not required that you do that, but if you think you might want to turn this into a mindful masturbation practice, then make sure you're in a space where you won't be interrupted and you have some privacy. So, the more that we are in touch with pleasure in our bodies, the more pleasurable sex becomes. And that's sex with partners or sex with ourselves. Oftentimes we are caught in our minds. We're caught in anxieties and insecurities or even just random thoughts rather than being in our bodies, which is where the sexual pleasure is actually happening. So mindfulness and some of the other practices we're going to do today can help us to fully embody the experience of sexual pleasure. When I first started to explore mindful sex and conscious sexuality, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea that my mind was going to be thoroughly blown with what's possible when you're actually in your body fully during sex. So this is an invitation to you. This is not something that you need to get right. It's not something that needs to be added to the list of why you're not good enough. Instead, use this as an invitation to drop deeper into yourself and to find your own truth, to find your own authentic sexual expression, and to get to know your sexual pleasure on a whole new level. Take a moment now to get really comfortable. Now, this can be on your bed, on a couch, with pillows and blankets on the floor, or if you prefer, a yoga mat on the floor. But what I want you to do is to get into a position that is most pleasurable for your body today. So check in and notice what's going to feel best today. Once you're set up, go ahead and lie back and start to deepen your breath. Breathing deep into the lower body and letting it go with a sigh. A few more nice deep breaths like that. Breathing deep into the lower body. And letting it go. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now we'll start to invite some relaxation into the body. And as you relax, let go, melt into whatever it is that you're lying on, I want you to start tuning in to the pleasure associated with relaxation. Relaxing your head and your face. Relaxing your neck and your shoulders. Allowing your arms and your hands to become heavy and released. Softening down into your chest, all around your heart. Relaxing into your upper back. Just let your back body start to melt into whatever you're lying on. Continuing to invite relaxation into your body, softening in the solar plexus, into the mid-back. And as you relax and draw your attention to the pleasure associated with relaxation, It's okay if there's some parts of the body that don't relax. It's okay if there's some parts of the body that don't feel great right now. Do your best to adjust your body to a position that feels good, and then just relax around the areas that are maybe a little tense or tight. And keep bringing your attention back to the pleasure that's available in your body as you continue to relax down into the lower abdomen, relaxing into the lower back, drawing your attention away from what's happening in the mind and into these waves of pleasure that come with relaxation. Now begin to relax in the hips. Soften and relax in your seat, all around your tailbone. And then bring your attention to the pelvic area and relax and soften here. Feeling this relaxation and pleasure in the pelvic floor, in the genitals, in the upper thighs. Softening and relaxing down into your legs, your feet. Okay, now that we've moved through the body relaxing, I want you to notice how good this feels. Remembering that it doesn't mean it feels perfect, but notice what is pleasurable about your experience right now. Notice the relaxation, the pleasant heaviness in your body. And now we'll continue with this pleasure awareness by focusing attention on one area of pleasure in the body. Draw your attention to whatever's feeling best right now. Start to focus there. Anytime you get pulled into your mind, just bring your attention back to this area of pleasure in your body. Noticing that the more attention you give it, the more you notice it, the more pleasure is available. During sex, with yourself or with a partner, sometimes you get pulled into your mind. Or for one reason or another, you might not be connected to your body. This is a practice that helps you drop into pleasure so that you can actually experience sexual pleasure through your body. So keep focusing on this sensation of pleasure, knowing that as you do so, you are strengthening your capacity to experience all kinds of pleasure, including sexual pleasure. Keep coming back to this sensation. Keep softening into it. Good. Now you can absolutely continue to work with this, or you can move forward with me into the next part of this practice. For this, we're going to start by using the mind a little bit. The mind is a tool, and it's a really good tool. So while we don't want to get caught in the mind during sex, it doesn't mean that we can't use the mind during sex. So I'd like you to take a moment and imagine yourself in your full sexual expression. And there is no right way to imagine this. It might even change day to day. But right now, in this moment, what would your most authentic, full sexual expression look like? Maybe it's an image of you and a partner. Maybe it's a color, a place in nature. Maybe it's a memory of a time that you felt really connected to your sexuality. Or maybe it's a fantasy, an intention about how you'd like to connect to your sexuality. So as you bring these sexual thoughts to mind, I want you to start to notice how the body responds and see if you can sync up these thoughts with some sensations in your body. And I encourage you to begin around the genitals, just noticing, do they light up at all as you start to bring these sexual images to mind? Feel that. Connect with that. Now, if the body hasn't started to light up, let's give it a little help. I want you to bring your attention to the pelvic area, bring your attention to your genitals, and start to imagine a warm glow here. Start to connect to pleasure and warmth. And now, letting go of what you've been creating in the mind, start to breathe down into the genitals, directing your breath down into this pleasure center in your body. And then on the exhale, start drawing that pleasure, that energy of your sexuality up through your body. And if you like, on the inhale, feel the muscles of the pelvic floor open. And on the exhale, a gentle squeeze as you draw this pleasure, this warmth, this sexual energy up through your body, through the solar plexus, the heart space, the throat, up through the third eye, and all the way to the top of your head, shining out from the crown. Keep breathing down into the pelvis, connecting with your sexual energy. And if it feels like the imagery helps, then bring that imagery back up to help you reconnect to this energy that is inside of you, that is yours. Other people might help us to access it, to encourage it, to explore it. But your sexual energy is yours. Your sexual expression is yours. And right now, you are getting acquainted with this beautiful, creative, amazing part of you. Keep breathing into the pelvis, and on the exhale, drawing that energy of sexuality, that warmth, up through the body, all the way through the crown. Now at this point, you can continue with the breath, continue with the visualization if that's supportive. And if you'd like, you can begin to bring in some self-pleasure. And that might include stroking your face, giving yourself a hug, running your fingers down the sides of your body, exploring your chest, your hips, your thighs. It could also include beginning to explore the genitals. I invite you to do this with curiosity. Let this be a process of discovery. Continuing to connect with your authentic sexual energy and expression as you bring pleasure to your body. And then coming back to what we started with, staying connected to the pleasure that's occurring physically. What does it feel like to touch yourself in this way? What does it feel like to breathe this pleasure through your body? Keep coming back to the feeling. Keep coming back to the sensation. Keep coming home to your authentic, beautiful, creative, sexual expression, sexual energy. This is yours. This is your birthright. Now, for those of you who've taken this into a self-pleasure exercise, feel free to continue as long as you like. If you're ready to bring this practice to an end, let's start by just taking a few more of those slow, deep, intentional breaths, letting out some sound or a sigh on the exhale. One more nice deep breath. And now take a moment to just bring some gentle movement into your body. Notice what feels good right now. Notice any sense of fulfillment, any sense of connection with yourself. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and take a look around your space, knowing that you can come back to connection with your sexual energy and sexual expression anytime. And the more you connect to it, the more you live from it. I hope that this was supportive for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I see you and I love you.